What are you thinking about when you're watching Mahomes and Allen sling it like that?
Well, there's a lot of things. First of all, just selfishly, watching the game that I could only dream about playing. You know, I was the oddity 20 years ago, and now my game is now the prototype. That's how you do it. It's the guys that are just dominating the league. And in fact, my theory is you cannot get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl unless you have one of those guys. And watching them go back and forth and put the Superman cape on, but yet also the key is that they're willing. They have the sophistication in the passing game to be able to stand in there, call a play in the huddle, decipher through the defense, and get the ball out in a really effective and efficient way. Yet be able to put the Superman cape on here and there whenever it's useful. I would say specifically about the game yesterday, I've always said that Josh Allen is asked to do too much. He needs more help. And because of that, he has to put the Superman cape on more often. And then what happens mentally in the complexity of what I'm at, what my game is that when do I go? When do I run? When do I go out there and try to do something spectacular? And a lot of times you'll leave the play that was called in the huddle kind of left short because you're so used to getting out there and being Superman. So that's the complication of what those guys face every week. But watching them do it, you just tip your cap. You go, oh my gosh! The game has become a game of these superheroes, and if you don't have one, you can't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and just watching the end of that game, and Romo was pointing out after the 2-minute warning. 2 pass plays, one for the end zone, and then one on third down that didn't convert as well, where Allen seemed to be trying to. And even if you do get those chunk plays at that point in time, you're still leaving way too much time for Mahomes. I honestly thought they had it right where they needed it. 2-minute warning, Chiefs on their heels, the defense on its heels, and they went for a couple chunk plays, or at least Allen did. I'm wondering what you think of, because that did lead to the eventual game losing, if you will, field goal miss as opposed to a tying attempt. But that still would have been too much time for Mahomes, Steve.
Too much time for Mahomes, then enough time for Josh to come back again.
Maybe.
I mean, that's just the NFL is the NBA, where you kind of you dance around all day, and then all of a sudden, the last 5 minutes, these superstars, these superheroes, just go back and forth, and who has the ball left. So I agree with you. I think that Tony has a good point. Part of the efficiency of just getting the ball out, making them make the tackle, moving the ball very effectively and chewing time is fine. And I think that you get to the end of a game like this against each other, because that's what I said 3 years ago, the next 10 years, you're going to watch Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes win the Super Bowl. And they're just going to trade it out. Well, Joe got hurt this year. Josh hasn't gotten there because he's getting beat by Patrick Mahomes. And now I think that if you think about Lamar Jackson has now kind of entered that space because of a fundamental shift in what the Ravens are doing. But going back to those couple of plays, he gets bumped. He doesn't get run over, but he gets off of his platform and has to throw the ball. And if you're going to throw that long ball, and that he was open. I mean, it was, he would have scored early, would have given the ball back. But I go back to, give him the ball back and see what happens. Then you get the ball back, and with 22 seconds left, and you go kick a field goal and win it. So that just seems like there's a fearlessness to being in that role. And you're saying, Rich, I wish that they were a little bit more tactical. And I agree with you. I actually agree with how you're thinking about it. But that's the hard part, right? I'm fearless and tactical. Those are two things that don't necessarily go together. And that's why the mastery of it is being able to do both is what's fun and what I resonate with. That's how I think about the game. And so, a guy that did that, I find myself watching that game and feeling a visceral kind of reaction and understanding of what they're going through.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.